Hello everyone, this is Voice of Story. I'm Priya. Today's story begins long time ago in a tiny little kingdom. And the kingdom did have a king and a queen and a little prince. King and the queen loved the prince, obviously, but he was a fussy eater, a very picky one. King and the queen used to struggle every meal to get even a small morsel of food into his mouth. One day, the queen had enough of this. She just stormed into the kitchen and called out to the cook, Mr. Cook, if tomorrow morning you do not make something new that the prince loves, you will be fired from your job and be thrown out of this country. The cook was trembling in his knees. He quickly started to slice and dice and boil and bake and roast and fry. And then he finally cried, there seems to be nothing that I can make that the prince is going to love. I am definitely going to lose my job and be out of this country. And so he dozes off, too tired to think anymore. And early next morning, sun comes up and the rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo and startles a dog that was sleeping beside, who goes bow on to a cat that was nearby, who goes meow, jumps on the cook who was sleeping nearby, who startles up awake and stumbles and pushes a ladle full of batter to the hot oil nearby, and it starts to sizzle. The cook is shocked at first, then he quickly tosses it and pulls it out of the oil. And he's surprised to see that it is a beautiful round golden ball. He tries it out, a small bite at first, crunch, and he was happily surprised. It was so crunchy on the outside, but so soft on the inside. So, hoping his luck would serve him well, he makes a platter full of these beautiful golden balls and serves it on the breakfast table. Just the whiff of these golden balls, the prince turns his head towards it, reaches out and picks up one ball, takes a nibble, crunch, and then a bigger bite, crunch, and then he just gobbles one up, and then one more, and then more, and soon his mouth was all full, and he went, wonderful, wonderful. The king first thought he was saying wonderful. The king called out to the chef and asked, is this bondas? Is that what he's eating? The cook, shaking in his legs, said, yes, ma'am, yes, it is bondas. Oh, good then. Bondas for everybody. Bondas for breakfast, bondas for lunch, bondas for dinner. Let's all have more and more bondas. And that's what happened. The entire kingdom started to eat bondas all the time and enjoyed it too much. And they just sang and danced and had fun all the time with all their bonda meals. Hey, there was a little bit of a problem soon. You know what it is? Yeah, all of them eating bondas all the time, they all started to look like bondas, and now they just could not enter their houses or come out of it. Well, what would they do? Yes, they started building round, bonda shaped homes with bonda like entrances. Yes, there were round homes, round entrance, round beds to sleep on, round chairs to sit on. And yes, what happened to the name of the kingdom? It was soon called Bondapalli. And the popularity of Bondapalli started to spread far and wide. And there was a kingdom nearby with a lean, mean king. And obviously, he just hated the news that this kingdom near him was all happy all the time. He just had to wage a war on them. Well, that takes us to part 2 of the wonderful stories of Bondapalli, the War of Bondapalli. Thank you for now. See you soon in part 2.